Hey there folks, this is GreenXI welcoming you right back to Let's Play Higurashi. This is episode 15. In last episode we found out that Rena might not be as innocent as she first seemed. She tried to terrify Keiichi into not asking questions and to be able to keep secrets. And they know about Keiichi being the undercover detective about the murder and everything. And oh my god. I hope it keeps the pace up like that. So, let's get going. I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner except stare blankly into space. Was I terrified from Rena going off on me? No, that's not right. That was someone else who only looked like Rena. Then who could it have been? It was a dreadful feeling. Knowing that that was someone else, not Rena, so tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Rena like I usually do. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head. Though those thoughts continued swirling around my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the steps. Keiichi, it's a call from the bookstore. Bookstore? Can't think of why they'd be calling me. I haven't bought a book or anything. I went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway. My apologies for calling so late at night. It's me, Ooishi of the Okinamaya bookshop. Ooishi-san? Oh, it's Ooishi-san. Sorry. Since your parents picked up, I said it was from the bookstore. It puts people off when I say I'm a police officer. Yeah, I can see why. Ooishi-san was, in his own way, rather courteous. Even so, I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone with me as I dashed back up to my room on the second floor. Sorry for calling so late. That phone number on the piece of paper I gave you yesterday was the old number. My apologies. Can you copy down the number I'm about to give you? Ah, yeah. Okay. He gave me the number for his direct line as I wrote it down. I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk, and it was pretty hard to hang up. So how's it been, Mayabara-san? Did anything strange happen recently? So he's phoned in to, just to check up on things. I see. This was the real reason. He really beat around the bush there. His adult conversational skills left me slack-jawed. Are you from around here, Ooishi-san? Yeah, I am. Born and raised in Okinamaya. If he's from around here, he might know. Ooishi-san, do you know what this onikakushi thing is about? I believe that's when somebody suddenly vanishes because they've been abducted by a demon. It's a special saying from around here. It has the same meaning as spirited away, like everyone else says. Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked. This older man gave me a direct answer. It made me a bit happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything. Hinamazawa was, not sure if I should tell you this, Mayabara-san. Don't try to play this off. If you're not going to talk, then I'm not going to tell you anything. No, that's not what I meant. It's just, it may make you feel bad. You see, long ago, Hinamazawa was feared as the village where demons reside. Oh, it used to be like a spooky village. Demons? By demons you mean those pitchfork-carrying things in hell? More like human-eating monsters. They go down to villages, snatching people up and gobble them down, that kind of tale. Demons snatching up people is what this onikakushi really means. They said that the curse and being demoned away happen together. What's that mean? Yeah, one person dies and one person gets kidnapped. I already knew about the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row. But I didn't know there were people disappearing for those same 5 years. The curse and being demoned away happen together? First time I've heard of that. Is that how it is, Mayabara-san? That's what I want to know. I heard Rena and Mion talking. They said that if it was really Oishiro-sama's curse, then both the curse and demoning away would happen. Ooishi-san began hemming and hawing on the other end of the receiving. Hemming? Is that like, Maybe there's something about that came to mind. Mayabara-san, do you know the first incident? The murder by dismemberment? Yeah. One of the 6 perpetrators is still on the run, right? Hypothetically. What if he isn't on the run, but was demoned away? Maybe. It was an outrageous hypothesis from Ooishi-san. The incident 4 years ago was a particularly ghastly one. The police already knew the perpetrators, so they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They staked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be, unless the police were completely incompetent. Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off. Then what about the incident the next year, when the man who supported the project and his wife both died in an incident? Well, actually, it was only the husband who died in an accident. His wife's body never surfaced, that's true. Unless we find the body, then it's considered a missing person by law. At the time of the incident, with the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, the police divers had searched every branch of the main stream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end, they weren't able to find her body. That's just them not being able to find the body. She's still dead, right? Isn't it different from her being demoned away? We can't say someone is dead without their body. Till a certain number of years pass, by law she's treated as still alive. I'm not sure if it was right to call that being demoned away. The wife is missing. At least that part was reality. About the 3rd year, the Shinto priest died of illness, and his wife committed suicide. Aibao-san, that's actually the exact same scenario. The wife had supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless marsh deep in the forest around Hinamizawa, meaning it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the marsh. A diver was able to recover a few remnants, but they weren't able to find the body. The investigative headquarters believed that she had faked her death and was still alive somewhere. Not sure if we could call these cases as being demoned away. It's just as you said, every year one person does go missing. The incident this year, the woman with Tomitake-san, has gone missing. Then what about the incident with the housewife beaten to death? Who went missing? I believe the perpetrator was caught, right? Yeah, we arrested him. He was just a miscreant with a record of narcotics abuse. He admitted to the crime while being questioned about a different incident. But, well, you see, after he was arrested, a child from the victim's home went missing. It's still under investigation. As to whether the disappearance had anything to do with the crime. But you said you caught him, right? Did he have an accomplice? No idea. It's considered a separate case. Moreover, we can't even check now, because while under investigation, that man, he died in his holding cell. He swallowed a spork and choked to death. It's not known whether it was an accident or suicide, meaning for the last 5 years, there's always one person who dies and one who goes missing. That's about right. Actually, I'm surprised as well. I never realised they had that in common. I couldn't believe that this could help lead to the closing of those incidents. It was just something they had in common. Could it be that those demoned away have something in common? Ooishi-san mumbled as he seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarised the events. The 1st year was a damn employee. 2nd year was the wife of a damn project supporter. We know, we've been through this. 3rd year was the wife of the Shinto priest. 4th year was the victim's family's child. Alright, it's going through all the missing people now. I didn't know then. And the 5th year was the victim's girlfriend, I guess. It doesn't seem like there's anything that connects them. With the exception of the 1st year, wives and girlfriends, those do stand out. It does seem like there are a lot. Then that means the 4th year's victim's child was different. It would have really stood out if it were all married couples, except it's not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tomitake-san also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly. The child that went missing in the 4th year, who were they? Apparently, he was quite mature, 1 year older than you. Get ready. His name was Satoshi Huju-san. Satoshi, the one who went off of the class register, or whatever it's called. Satoshi is the one who went missing. I remembered that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year? He was at your school up until last year. Didn't they tell you anything about him? Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. Then, where I sat, once belonged to the one who was demoned away. It was his seat. I recalled the cold sensation that came from that desk, made my hair stand on end. This string of mysterious deaths, no, Oyashiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it connected to me. That chilling sensation, it was the feeling of Oyashiro-sama's caress in the back of my neck. Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Could Oyashiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was beginning to believe it, and I was scared. That was why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by man, not the work of a curse. But the more I dug into it, the less likely that seemed. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. If I kept digging, eventually, I'd reach the point where I'd learned something I really shouldn't know. To either be none the wiser, or to seek an answer I may regret. Which one would I be happier with? Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. So now Keiichi is starting to believe in the curse of the village. And this is where he starts going a bit mad. That was when I remembered. Rena. Rena said she may be the next victim of the curse. You mean Rena Ryugu-san? She transferred in last year and she's a classmate, didn't she? These incidents really might be a bit too disturbing for a girl. She's not just scared, is she? It wasn't that. She said it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think she had a concrete reason behind it. It felt like she was convinced, almost as if, you could say, she was frightened. But this also means that Rena cannot be the killer, doesn't it? She was frightened, her sudden change in demeanour. That someone who looked like Rena, but wasn't Rena. That might be unrelated. All the strange things that I felt from Rena today came back to me. I see, then I'll be doing a bit of investigating on this end. Please continue your observations of Ryugu-san, Maibara-san. You're asking me to keep Rena under surveillance? That's not what I meant. I just want you to watch out for your friend, so she doesn't end up the next victim. At that moment, just my mouth was agape because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with words. Knock knock. A sudden knock at the door set my heart racing. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver. Keiichi, get the door, please. On the other end of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. What could it be? It's so late. Sorry, my dad just came in. Can we leave it at this for tonight? Yeah. My apologies again for calling so late. If you find out anything else, please let me know. It looks like from the picture outside that it's still daytime. You can still see the trees in bright green, sunny and stuff. If you find out anything else, please let me know. I'll tell you if I make any progress on this end. Have a pleasant evening. Keiichi, hurry and open up. Daddy's got his hands full. What's Dad doing? I'd stayed in the same position while on the phone the whole time, so my joints were aching. When I opened the door, I saw my father was standing there with a tray. On that tray, cookies and 2 cups of black tea, a fairly fancy spread for our household. There was even sugar and lemon slices on the side. Everything you could ask for. It was quite the show of hospitality. What's going on, Dad? What's all this for? Come now, don't play around, Keiichi. I'm coming in. Dad was in high spirits and had a smirk on his face. But for my entire life, I've never seen him act this hospitable. What's he doing? What had gotten into him? What were you talking about? I jumped. It's not something I had to keep from my father. But how could I explain to him I was talking to a detective, assuming he was, this late at night? Nothing much. Just a friend. I don't mean the phone. She was here, wasn't she? What? Rena-chan? Why does he think that? She wasn't here. Come now, don't try to keep it from me. She just came over to play. You two were chatting away, so I thought I'd bring some tea, but looks like I just missed her. I had no idea what Dad was talking about, but a cold sweat dripped down my back. How long were we talking? Rena-chan went upstairs about half after, so it was close to an hour, I guess. You saw her come up to the 2nd floor? Yeah, I did. I also told her that your room was the door down the hall by the stairs. Rena came to my house about an hour ago. Dad met her at the door and called out to me on the 2nd floor. I probably didn't hear him because I was so focused on my conversation with Ooishi-san. I didn't reply, but he knew I was in my room, so he had her come inside. Then told her my room was on the 2nd floor. She thanked my dad and went upstairs. Then about an hour passed. She passed by my dad just as he was bringing up tea and left. She came upstairs and about an hour passed. Then passed by my dad and returned home. Then after she came upstairs and until she left, where was Rena? Oh God. It's only a short hallway between my room and the stairs, meaning Rena had, for about an hour, in the hall. No, she couldn't have been standing in front of my door all that time. She was listening in on the detective phone call. The door to my room wasn't particularly thick. You could easily hear everything being said inside. You can, Japanese sort of style doors, the slidey ones that are made of like wood, I think. They ain't gonna be that thick, are they? Unless some of them are, I don't know. All of the ominous things and all the nonsense I spoke to Ooishi-san about began rushing throughout my head. Oh my God, I can't read. Honey, don't tease him. More importantly, you need to clean up your studio. It's a mess again. Mom yelled up at Dad from downstairs. Dad left the tray with me and went downstairs with a disappointed chortle. I followed my dad out the room with my eyes. I looked down at the floor around the doorway where Rena might have stood all that time. Just now, as I was talking to Ooishi-san, with my back turned, Rena was standing a mere 6 feet away the whole time. All that time in this dimly lit doorway, what did she see? What did she hear? For what reason? As the steam from the 2 teacups ominously wafted and twisted, the aroma of black tea filled my room. So Rena is spying and acting particularly weird constantly lately. But why? And what's coming next? It's because of the secrets, I think. Okay, so it looks like we got a tip to finish up the episode again. Lies! They did the achievements well, I think. They're quite well done. Notes from the police chief. Okay, what's this then? July the 1st, 1982. To Departments 1 through 12. Prefectural Police Headquarters. Director General Blup. To the Chief Constable and all facility managers. Regarding cases situated in the Hinamazawa village, notice. As cases in Shishabone City, Hinamazawa village have been reported by certain sections of mass media, it has drawn global attention, which is causing serious repercussions for the local residents. This has become a very serious situation. To protect the livelihood and prosperity of the residents, the following notice has been issued. Designate the following criminal investigations as classified. Okinamaya Station 1982, case number X. Hinamazawa Village housewife murder. Okinamaya Station 1982, case number X. Hinamazawa Village student disappearance. 2. Non-disclosure of information. Okinamaya Station 1979, case number X. Hinamazawa Village site foreman murder. Shira Station 1980, case number X. Shira Natural Park falling incident. It's going through all those deaths. Okinamaya Station 1981, case number. Hinamazawa Village Shinto priest wife disappearance. June. Same date every time. 3. Requesting self-restraint from each organisation concerning the release of sensitive information. Please see attached reference materials 1, 2 and 3. Management, Prefecture, Police Headquarters, Internal Line, Blah. Police Affairs Department, Blah. Okay, so not particularly useful one. I think it was just there to build a bit of tension and stuff. So anyway, this has been Greeny XI. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you again next time when we're not going to go back to happy fun time for the rest of the game, I'm pretty sure, for the rest of the arc. It didn't in the anime and it probably won't in the game, so yeah, this has been Greeny XI. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you again next time when we... I don't know, chapter 9. Yeah, when we go for chapter 9. See you in a bit, folks.